What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and as always, thank you for clicking on this video. Today we're going to talk about Munich, the Edge of War. It is now streaming on Netflix, so we're going to go ahead and review it. Let's go ahead and talk about this film. So the plot is this. It's set in 1938, and it's when Hitler is trying to prepare to invade Czechoslovakia. But in the meantime, the British government, led by Neville Chamberlain, they're trying to make peace with them, and that's when a German civil servant and a German diplomat, who are actually former classmates, they travel to Munich to settle this peace, to try and achieve peace on this dispute. What I really like about the film is that it has a really great casting. Everybody here does a really good job. Amazing acting. Everybody looks like they're taking their roles really serious, and everyone here has really good chemistry. Everybody that's acting with one another have really good chemistry. Everything fits so well with the actors and actresses. One thing that I really like is that the two male characters, the two main ones you could say, is the character of Hugh and Paul. They are pretty much like the two different point of views on this whole movie. There are two different point of views on these historical events, this whole political dispute that's going on. They pretty much start off on opposite sides, and they eventually are on the same page, but it's the execution of how they want to achieve the peace. That's where they differentiate, and that's where their minds pretty much start to clash, and that's where we see all this tension. It's their history of friends that add the conflict to what's going on, because they get caught up in this whole political web, and the fact that they know each other, but their minds are just they're not really the same on how they want to achieve this peace. So that adds a lot of tension throughout the movie. Now, this is a historical drama, is not a war film. So if you're coming here to see some action, some war, you're gonna be disappointed, because this film does not have a lot of action. It's more of a drama. It relies more on dialogue. It's relying more on the interaction of the characters, and that's where it could lose you if you're just not used to that, and especially if you're not used to watching historical films unless they involve like some war, because that's pretty much the typical movies that people would watch when it comes to historical events, is unless they involve war. But this is not the case here. It's just the film mostly relies on dialogue, so it could lose you. It was losing me a bit. It is a bit too long, I will say. It took about an hour for all the conflict to start. I mean, it just took I feel like it took way too long to set everything up. I even checked the time. I took exactly about an hour for these two former friends to actually meet up again, because there is some time in between from when they last saw each other and how they cross each other's paths again. It took way too long to actually set that up, so it was losing me in the beginning. But then after that, I was actually invested in the story. I was actually invested in what was going on, so everything else in the second half was good for me. Movie is a little bit too long in my opinion. I think we could have probably cut like a good 20 to 25 minutes or so. Like I said, that whole setup is what felt really dragging for me. I felt like it was dragging the story along, but it eventually picked up. And the actor who plays Hitler, I really like his interpretation of it. The only thing is that physically he looks a little bit too scrawny for me. I mean, Hitler wasn't fat or anything, or not that I remember, but he looks just a little bit too skinny. But what I really like is that Hitler has these moments where he tells people, hey, I'm good at reading people, so I can see what's going on. And the questions that he asks the other characters that he's interacting is as he's telling him straight up, like, hey, I know what you're thinking. I can see it in your eyes. That sort of thing just made him really intimidating. You don't really see him screaming or doing anything as how we've seen in World War II documentaries or other historical films, where he's just yelling and screaming the whole time. He's more of a calmer, collected guy, but very, very intimidating when he's alone in a room with somebody else. But overall, I was surprised on how much I actually ended up liking this film. There were a few things that I had a problem with, and normally I'm not a big fan of historical dramas like that, just because I don't really know, it's been a while. The only time we ever actually learn this stuff is in school. I mean, unless it's like a profession or you're just somebody who really enjoys that, looking at on your free time. But I was actually really invested, especially in that second half. And I was actually shocked on how much I ended up enjoying this film. So in the end, I will say that Munich, The Edge of War, I will say it is worth having a movie night. Alright, so Munich, The Edge of War, if you've seen it, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below your thoughts and opinions. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep watching this channel and keep watching movies.